He really don't give a fuck about us. So fuck him too. And fuck everybody down with Donald Trump. I said he...
That's that crypto, see? They let a real crip up in the crypto ball.
Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Sleepless Talk podcast. It's your host Andre here, and today we're going to talk about Snoop Dogg. Now, many of you know Snoop Dogg is a very popular celebrity. He's a rapper, right? Very well known throughout the world, especially here in the United States of America. And however, he's been catching a lot of backlash, right? He's been catching a ton of backlash. And the reason for that being that he performed at President Trump's inauguration. Now, why people are upset is because of things like this particular video right here. So we're gonna go ahead and watch this video of what Snoop Dogg initially said about people who associate with President Trump, specifically talking about African Americans here, right? So we're gonna watch that video and we're gonna kind of reflect on it and as to whether or not, you know, this backlash that Snoop Dogg is receiving is warranted or not.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? I's the one that performs for himself.
So that was Snoop's initial stance, right, on people performing for President Trump. This is another video, right? We got more videos of Snoop Dogg reacting to President Trump, and we're gonna listen to him offer some of his opinions on President Trump.
I just want to say this real quick, not on the political shit. All you people for the federal government that got not getting paid right now, ain't no fucking way in the world y'all can vote for Donald Trump when he come back up again. If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid motherfuckers. I'm saying that to y'all early. All you federal government people that's not being paid, that's being treated fucking unfairly right now, not being paid, that's so terrible. And this punk motherfucker don't care. So I'm saying that to say this. When the shit get back on and y'all get y'all jobs back and it's time to vote, don't vote for that nigga. Please don't. Look what he do. He just don't give a fuck. Y'all honest, blue-collar, hard-working people and suffering. So if he don't care about y'all, he really don't give a fuck about us. So fuck him too. And fuck everybody down with Donald Trump. I said he gets Snoop Dogg. Fuck him.
So as you can tell, there's some very strong opinions there. This, on the other hand, is a video of Snoop Dogg at President Trump's inauguration prior to his performance.
My mother say, Rose, man, you playing to win tonight, man.
With Rick Ross.
What's going on? That's that crypto, see? They let a real crip up in the crypto ball. Ooh. Bang, bang. Got the rolling on my arm and I'm pouring Sean Dawn and I'm all of that sweet cause I got it going on.
I got that Nazi burger, and it's so what I just right talking double. I think I'm being me. Who, Larry? Whipping work, bro.
So there you have it. This is the reason why Snoop Dogg is catching a lot of backlash, right? So what's my take on it, right? For me, I think it's heartbreaking for a lot of people because they don't realize just how phony some of these people in the industry can be, right? And it's the same for politics. There are a lot of people who are just straight up concerned with just their self-interest. Let's put it that way, right? Let's put it in a polite and respectful way. So is this backlash warranted? I mean, yes, absolutely. I mean, it's quite clear. It's a clear display of Snoop Dogg's hypocrisy. I mean, that right there cannot be disputed whatsoever. So what do we make of this? Look, listen, it's like I say all the time, right? You have to be mindful. You can't expect, I mean, some of these rappers that come on out here, right, and make these political stances and stuff like that, you have to understand a lot of that stuff is self-centered. It's all about their self-interest, right? Why do I say that? I mean, when's the last time you seen a presidential candidate really mingle with, a hip hop artist. The only time you see stuff like that happening is when? During the election, right? And that's the only time that they really care about, you know, speaking to artists, speaking to, all these brilliant, talented artists. It's the only time because it's not even about the artist. They don't care about the artist. They care about the artist's audience, right? So before, when Snoop Dogg would sit there and make all these comments, fuck Donald Trump, this and the third, you guys are Sambos, Uncle Toms for voting for him and associating with him, and yet here it is, we're seeing Snoop Dogg busting a dance at the man's inauguration. You were upset at people for voting. You were upset at people for voting, right, for Donald Trump, and yet here it is, having a performance for the man's presidential run, right? To celebrate his soon-to-be presidential run. How does that work? At least the people who voted for him did so out of their own heart. It's about their convictions, their beliefs, etc., etc. You're doing this for a check. And I know there's some people who justify that and say, well, go get your bag. Just secure the bag. You have to carry yourself a certain way when it comes to politics. Everything, you should not be bought. You should not be bought. It shouldn't be easy to buy you and your influence. And that's what you're seeing here. Because in the previous videos where he was making his statements and talking about how he was against Donald Trump and so forth, you had people that rallied in his comments. You had people that felt like, okay, I agree with him. This is how I've been feeling. I'm not the only one. So how do you think those people feel when they sit here and they watch this? Only one of two things. One, they may follow him and be like, Trump ain't bad, and they may associate with him. Now, this is not a video to discuss whether or not that's right or wrong. That's neither the point. Like I was saying, they're either going to also associate with President Trump. If that's not the case, they will become demoralized because they will feel as though there is no backbone, there is no representation, there's no leadership in the African American community when it comes to people like this, right? If I'm following you, I expect you to stand on a certain set of principles. That's an understanding. I got to have that understanding, and then I'd be able to follow you, and vice versa. You got to have a set of principles set if you're going to be a leader. And those that abide by those set of principles, who value them, those are the people who you're more than likely to lead and succeed with, right? So it's unfortunate, but it should be an eye-opener. It should be an eye-opener, right? These celebrities, they don't care. They don't care about you. They don't really care about your well-being. They don't care about your political convictions. They don't, right? Snoop Dogg, I give you an example with the whole Colin Kaepernick situation. Colin Kaepernick took a knee for, to protest the abuse that African Americans were enduring in the United States. That was popular, huge wave of movements. People really felt like he was sacrificing for their cause, right? For their sake. And there was a lot of penalties associated with that. He lost his job, and now he's just been a free agent for years now, despite the fact that he still trains, right? He's been a free agent for years now, and he's unable to land a deal. Like, nobody's taking him, nobody's signing him. He's not getting a contract, and he can't play. But yet he sacrificed. He took that knee knowing what would entail, like what will come with that. And yet after sacrificing, right? After sacrificing for African Americans like that, how do you think he might feel seeing stuff like this? So people have to be mindful. People have to be mindful. This is why Malcolm X once said, you cannot expect, right? It's only in the African American community that you have leaders, self-professed leaders who are comedians, right? Who are entertainers and stuff like this, actors, rappers, whatever. But when it comes to leadership, really leading an entire people, you need people who are serious. You need people who are serious, and they're not going to take this foolishness or stand for it. These actions should be heavily criticized. But the sad thing is, it goes beyond just this particular campaign. This is a reality that a lot of Americans are living under too. regardless of what political beliefs they may have, excuse me. Right? So people have to take that into account. You can't just follow people blindly. You have to know a lot of these people don't care about you. They only care about their own pockets. The only reason we seen Megan Thee Stallion come out during Kamala Harris's run, the only reason we would see the Beyoncés and the Jay-Z's, etc., associating with Kamala, associating with Obama when he was running, was for a bag. These people get paid. These are endorsement deals, essentially. Backdoor endorsement deals. You got to understand that, and it's sad. It's sad that a lot of people are willing to throw, their community away, throw people away that believe in them for a check. But at the same time, you can't be surprised because Snoop Dogg's a rapper and he's complicit in the degeneration of a lot of people. He's been a focal point in a wave that destroyed a lot of African American youths and even white American youth. There's some who ended up lost listening to a lot of BS, etc., who found themselves in terrible predicaments as a result of trying to emulate a certain lifestyle portrayed by rappers particularly. Right? So protect yourself, protect your children, and be mindful. This is why I criticize some of this stuff with like hip hop artists and stuff like that. Look, you have a powerful platform, but you're not making the most out of it. I think we're moving in a more positive direction where stuff like this will be, the idea of being, it's hard to really pinpoint because the independent route is a much more difficult route as opposed to like signing a deal, etc. But when you do these things with like big record companies, there's a certain agenda that you have to follow, right? And on top of that, even the idea of royalties, and a lot of artists wouldn't even own their royalties, wouldn't even own their masters. So we got to do better. We got to do better. So if you ask me, Snoop Dogg's backlash is absolutely warranted. He deserves each and every single comment that he gets, which criticizes him on his actions. I think African Americans need to wake up. People in general need to wake up and understand that the people that they hold on a pedestal don't necessarily respect or value them. And they will do any and everything to maintain their own self-interest. And that's what you're seeing right now. And it's terrible. It's terrible. And back on the topic of Colin Kaepernick, after having made all those sacrifices, what do you see? You're seeing, the Snoop Dogg's performing at the Super Bowl and all that. How do you make sense of that? Jay-Z was rumored to have partnered with them. I think he had some type of stake in the Super Bowl or whatever. What has come of that though? Like, I still don't understand how, something that was done, right, to empower a political movement, which is the whole taking a knee stuff, to bring awareness, has just died down quietly, with the individual who partook in that and who self-sacrificed just being pushed to the curb, and business continues as usual. And then you guys get mad when I always get mad because I'm a man of principle. Like, I'm not going to disregard my principles just for a check. I would never do anything like that. But you have others who don't feel that way. People have to wake up. You have to wake up. Hold your people accountable. Hold yourself accountable. Hold your family accountable. Hold your community accountable. Hold your community leaders accountable. And even these people, these entertainers that come and make all this music and make a crap ton of money at your expense, at the expense of your children, the children in the neighborhood, who admire these people, who hold them as role models. It's terrible. It's terrible. So absolutely, some of these comments that I've been seeing, never in a million years would I have thought he would bend his knees. Like, never. He lost all the respect I had for him. Right? Look at this. And I'm glad somebody posted this. I'm glad. This is what I was talking about. This is the video I was talking about that Malcolm X was speaking on some of these issues, right?
Just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players, Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and or over the black community by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear. Just told.
And there you have it. And there you have it. You know? And it's sad because the people with really good intentions, the people who have the qualities to really step up, you know, and bump heads with any establishments in order to empower their own people, get overlooked. These are the same people who, like these artists or whatever, that will sit here and say they respect the black struggle, they identify with, you know, the black struggle, etc., and they respect Malcolm and all this extra stuff, and yet they conduct themselves, right? They do stuff in a manner that disrespects this man's legacy, in a manner that would have him, you know, rolling over in his grave. I think Malcolm is happy about this, but what's sad is that I can't seem to understand how we're unable to just be consistent. I mean, this video is in black and white, about 60 years, and we're still going through the same things over and over and over and over and over again. That just highlights two things, actually three: lack of real leadership, lack of proper education, and lack of unity. And as long as we don't have any of those three, there will be another 60 years where we'll be looking back at these videos and saying Malcolm was right, Malcolm was right. Things will continue like this and will not change, I guarantee you. Because when you have people who do make advances, right? Like the Snoops, right? Like the Snoop Doggs, all these artists or whatever, actors, and it's very concerning how much they turn their back on their own communities. And yet they will come back to the community for some type of support when they're going through some type of struggle. And for some reason, our community falls in line. President Trump freeing like Kodak Black, why do you think that happened? The whole community was sitting here screaming, free Kodak, free Kodak, free Kodak, free Kodak. Well, okay, Kodak has been freed. Have you seen Kodak Black lately? Have you seen some of his videos on social media, on the young man's stream, Kai Cenat stream, when he's sitting up there, whatever, and they're cutting up, chilling, vibing, and you just see, and he looks like he needs some type of intervention. He needs help. He needs to go through a program. And I highly doubt he's acting, but the man looks sick. And nobody's saying anything. The community, there's no help Kodak. So exactly what are we fighting for when we sit here and oppose ourselves to, you know, the dominant society? What are we fighting for? What are we doing? It's sad and it's shameful, man. It's shameful. And I think the reason why is because a lot of African Americans, right, the vast majority of us are going through a lot of tough times, living in poverty, living in, you know, in these messed up environments, etc., that our idea of unity is distorted. Unity is not just associating with somebody who looks like you. That's not unity. That is not unity. Like, no, it's not. Unity is associating with people that have a similar set of standards and principles with you. That's unity. So if just because we all look like each other and we're all hanging out or we're all around, does not mean that we're unified. Because stuff like this is happening. One day I'm for the African American community. The next day I'm playing at President Trump's inauguration. You tell me. If you did in fact have a switch in political, thought and opinions, make it clear. We should see that. There should be some type of political statements that you've made, commentaries that you've made that would allow us to see that. But we're not seeing any of that. Instead, we just see you pop up out the blue with a bag in your hand, making a performance and dancing. Snoop, who are you at this point? Because there are a lot of people who would respect Snoop Dogg. Like when Snoop Dogg went ahead and purchased the Death Row record label, that was a powerful move, and a lot of people respected it, right? A lot of people respected it. And a lot of people, felt a sense of pride for his achievement. They were happy for him, considering his struggles. And so some of these people are well supported by the African American community, and then they just can easily turn their back like nothing. But that's because you allow it. We allow it. Essentially, what you have is like being in a relationship with a partner, and they're abusing you and you stay. You're allowing it. They know that they can continue to abuse you. Tomorrow they can purchase some flowers for you and, things are dandy. They speak out to your concerns, your safety and all that stuff. And then afterwards they screw you over. They cheat, they beat, whatever it is that they do to you. And you're still there. And then no. There is power in exclusion. And that's a power that African Americans... Let me explain to you how real that power is, right? We have reached a point where it's like certain entertainers, specifically speaking like rappers, would lose credibility if the public looked at them as they're not real, right? A rapper gets robbed. Oh, he's a coward. He's not real. He loses credibility and people stop following him as much. His income goes down the drain because he's no longer supported. He's no longer as respected, as revered, etc., etc. So it's the people who give value to these artists, ultimately. And it will always be the people, which is ironic when they come out and start mocking people and stuff like that. Or you broke ass niggas, or these broke ass, etc., etc. But it's the people who put you in that position through the people's support. And I think that's what the community has forgotten. People have forgotten this, how much power they really have. Power in attention and power in exclusion are two very important things. What you give your attention to and what you choose to exclude. These are things that are well within your powers, and you have to exercise them. You have to exercise them so that your interest is suited and not just the interest of others. Right? So with that being said, we have to do better. I don't stand with the foolishness that some of these artists are doing. I don't stand with it at all. There are other people who speak out against this. But look, I want each and every one of you to really think deeply how much hip-hop has influenced you. How much hip-hop has influenced your community. Right? Just think about it. But anyway, with that being said, thank you so much. I appreciate you if you guys have watched to this point. This is the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Much love.